Okay, so we are back with this wonderful gentleman right here. Why don't you tell us who you are?
I am G Wade.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you do?
I do a lot. But off top, I'm a black man in America. I'm a black man grew up in Portland, Oregon, which is kind of a white utopia. But I had the privilege of growing up in North Portland, in a Tamarax where it was very diverse.
Yeah.
Right. And I use that word in the serious sense of it, right? Because I grew up in North Portland. If you grew up in the Tamarack or the Villa, you literally were surrounded by anybody who was poor. You know what I mean? So it was a lot of black folks there. It was a lot of Africans. We had Haitians. I knew the difference between El Salvadorians and Mexicans and Cubans and different kind of Asians, all that. We were all just kind of growing together in these housing projects. And then you grow up a little bit, you go outside of that North Portland area that you're in, and you see the white utopia that Portland really is. Yeah. And it was a culture shock, being 10, 11 years old and being like, oh, shoot, I thought this was different.
Yeah.
And then realizing what it is. But so off top, that's what I am. Also, I do comedy, a lot of community work. I'm a engagement coordinator with Cultivate Initiatives, a DJ. I don't know, got my own entertainment company, a podcast. It's a lot.
All right, a man of many talents.
Many talents.
Yeah, I remember waiting in line at the community center for that cheese. You remember that big, long, soft cheese that we used to get? It made the best macaroni and cheese ever.
Them whole boxes, you take home a whole box, but you wanted to make sure that cheese was in there.
Yes, that shit was fire.
It was melty.
Okay. All right, so this is your second year?
My second year.
Okay, and when you got here this weekend, how were you feeling?
I was feeling good. After the first year I came, it was like 2 weeks before the summit was even kicking off. And the only reason why I knew about it, I seen Aj, and we were on like a community meeting between a bunch of community organizations. And Aj was like, I want you to come to the city council meeting. And I already wanted to go to the city council meeting because it was some things I was interested in and learning or listening to what was going on in Portland.
Okay.
They were talking about, redoing the bridge. It was the Avada project. It was a whole bunch of things that was on this agenda. And I didn't even know about, when it came to addiction resources, that was even going, that wasn't even on my radar at that time. And I was just like, I want you to come. And I was already planning on coming, but I was kind of in that mode where you're like, I'm kind of tired today, man. I don't think I want to do this. I think I want to take a nap instead of, going. And then Aj gave me that, and I said, yeah, I'm on my way. And so when I came, I met Aj, and he was like, I want to introduce you to somebody. And he introduced me to DeAndre.
Finish up.
No doubt. So I went to the city council meeting and with Aj, and Aj was like, I want to introduce you to somebody. And it was DeAndre. And we met DeAndre, he was moving around because he got all these people in his room, so everybody wanted to talk to him. And so I didn't get a chance to really sit down and tap in with him at that moment. He was just like, Aj, did you tell him about the Healing Summit? And I was like, no, not yet. He was like, make sure you get him the info and make sure he come. And so then Aj sent me a message, and I was like, signed up for it, and I ended up coming that first year. And when I seen what it was, I told myself the first day I got out here and I seen what was going on, I said, whatever I can do to jump in and support and help and grow and help UFI build. Let me see what I can do to help you out to continue to grow. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember meeting you last year, and it was just like, I thought you had been around since the beginning, right? Like that was my first year last year, and we just kind of did Policy Academy after the Healing Summit. We were in the spaces together, and it was just like you just picked up like you had always been there. And so I know that he appreciates that, and we appreciate that, right? Because it takes all of us to keep it going. I do want to know, how do you feel about when you pulled up on the house that we stayed in when we got here?
Oh, it was crazy. I said, what is this? And then walking in and then getting the tour, I was like, and then Maya was like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna show you the house. And we're in the room. I don't even know which room to pick. All of them look so dope.
Oh my goodness, so beautiful. I feel like we were pulling up on MTV Cribs when we came here. Yes.
I took Lance over to the house, and I was like, hey man, like literally you can rent this house out for MTV Cribs. Yeah. You doing some crazy things, but that house is amazing.
Yes.
But also the fishing too, though.
The fishing?
Going out to Primeville fishing. It was, yesterday we got the fish. I think the fish knew that we had something to do.
Yeah.
And so, like, we out there casting, we going, ain't nobody picking up nothing. This little bass is coming in. And we wanted some crappie. And so we start casting, and then like 20 minutes, Sarita's like, "Hey, we got to get back." And then we're like, "All right." And DeAndre goes, "This is my last cast." He cast it out, and he hooked one. Got him. He was like, "Ooh!" And so he started rolling. He was like, "Man, crappie don't ever come by themselves." And so we end up extending our time a little bit out there and got back a little, but it was fun. But we end up in like 20 minutes, we pulled like 10 crappie.
Nice. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So what is the biggest thing you're gonna take away from you, or take away with you?
For here is just continue to building with folks that's like us. I love every first year person, because I remember last year being a first year person. And it's gonna be others that I know in the building that's like me that see what's going on and say, I want to jump in and I want to support this wholeheartedly, and I want to continue to move, and I want to continue to build and keep going, And then policy is just one of those things. I do that on my free time. I go to city council meetings even when it's no invested interest for me personally, but I just want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm a nerd in that kind of way.
You can see your passion when you talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So appreciate that. Bring some life to policy, because it can be a little dry.
And that's going to be one of the biggest segues. But I also love the deaf doula who was talking. It was a perfect kickoff for me because it started off real heavy. And then to be able to end last night on that healing through comedy was amazing, because it started off with a deaf doula talking about things that a lot of people don't want to even talk about.
Yeah.
You don't want to talk about death, but it happens to everybody. It's coming for everybody.
Yeah.
And so having those conversations with, especially the older folks in your life and that kind of thing. But then also we touched on what happens when you have a child or somebody goes too soon, or, it's a lot of death in our community for a lot of different reasons. But to have that support in that transition, I think is important and is great, because death breaks up a lot of families.
Yeah.
And so having that support to keep everything tied in and glued together was great. And it just gradually got just more and more healing throughout the weekend. So it was good.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.